Here's what I learned in my marriage, and I'm gonna do this one a little bit differently. Non edited, and I'm not sure how far I'm even gonna take this video. But number one, the person that you meet in the beginning isn't always the person that you end up marrying. People change, people lie, they put on facades, and sometimes they just do things to impress you. And the person that you think you're married isn't the person that you married at all. Number two, talk about finances. Understanding that everyone has a different mindset about how money should be managed, how it should be spent, how it should be allocated, should be discussed up front. Have an open discussion and never assume that you being financially responsible is that everyone else is. Not everyone has that knowledge or skill and is not willing to learn it, even if they act like they are. Number three, follow your gut. If, like for me, I wasn't attracted to the person for a long time, and so many people had convinced me, family and friends, that you should date this guy, and I just wasn't attracted to him. But I wasn't meeting anyone, and finally I convinced myself. It wasn't from the heart, it was from the head. I convinced myself that I liked this person. And finally I started seeing all these great things that I didn't see in the past. And it's interesting because I do teach women what love is. But in this case, I still had it all wrong. My gut, my intuition that told me this person wasn't the right person for me, I was right all along. Let's go with the next one. You can divorce someone at any time. After we got married, it was right when we returned from our honeymoon. He said something to me that was shocking. And in that moment, I knew he wasn't the right person for me. But I felt like it was too late. I was already married. And in my mind, I said, I can't divorce this person. I can't just leave him for this reason. I would sound crazy. People will judge me. Can you go upstairs for just a moment?
Me?
Yeah. People will criticize. They just won't get it. And I was so worried about what other people thought that I talked myself into believing that this is what I had to settle for. So with this knowledge, whether it's your wedding night, your honeymoon, or you haven't even walked down the aisle yet, but you're right about to, and you learn something really important in that moment, you don't have to marry them. Really, you don't. Another thing I learned was to make sure you're happy with yourself and your life before you get involved in a relationship. Because it's easy to fall into where you become dependent on someone or feel the goodness with someone in that connection, that you are blind and you just have this foggy mindset of what's really going on around you. I personally wasn't in a good state when I started dating this person, and then I was head over heels at some point. But the reality was I had so much I needed to work on within myself that had I done that, I would have never considered that person. I would have never convinced myself that he was the person for me. When I got divorced, it was courageous, brave, and very scary. I didn't know what was on the other side. And one piece of advice I have for you, don't do what I did and share an attorney. I don't care how amicable that divorce is, people change and they turn into a vampire. You will see a side of them that you never expected, and it can get very messy very fast. After divorce, I lost friends. I was judged. Christmas came around and all the Christmas cards stopped. It's like I didn't have a family. I was just looked at like a single mom or a MILF, as if the humanness, the emotion, the love in me didn't exist. People just saw the superficial. Single mom, no Christmas cards. Well, the story's getting a little longer than I thought, but I'm enjoying what I'm sharing with you, so I'm going to share more. I delve really deep into spirituality, psychology, communication, and relationships, and I became infatuated with the topics. And I learned some really profound things. And in doing so, before telling you about all of that work that I did, I completely turned my life and my love life around, giving myself inner peace, setting myself free. I learned how to stop being manipulated by others, and now I can detect manipulative techniques, and I can teach them to you too. I mean, so that you don't get manipulated. Because if you're a loving person like I am, we don't want to manipulate others, but we certainly don't want to be taken advantage of. I learned what it's like to stop being in survival mode, to stop this high achieving mentality and doing it all and taking on all the load. And I learned how to soften and relax and enjoy the present. I know what it's like to be in the pits in love and completely lose yourself. And I know what it takes to get out and attract your dream relationship. So if you're done with the suffering and you want to move on and experience what real love really feels like, even if you are single, dating, married, or in a situationship, I can show you how. My name's Janine Ann. I'll see you again.